Guys, we are live. Okay, we are live with UFC fight predictions. Okay, we are live with another one, baby. All right. I want to make this short and sweet. I don't want to make this a long, drawn-out video, so I'm most likely not going to be on here, for 30 minutes. This is going to be a short one. My short is most likely UFC fight predictions. I just want to put this out there just because, last event, it was my worst event. It was my worst event when it comes to UFC fight predictions. And, it pushed my record to 53-49. That's 53 wins and 49 losses on my UFC fight predictions. Still over 500, okay? So I'm proud of that. But it's still early, all right? It is still early in this 2025 year. And it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. So let's keep going. Let's keep doing this. And let's keep making these good predictions. Guys, let's start from the bottom, okay? We got a great UFC fight night here coming tomorrow night, okay? Regular time, too. Regular time. So I think it starts at 7 or something like that. But let's start from the bottom, all right? The prelims here. We got Austin Hubbard versus Mikel Maduros. Okay. Look, guys, I like both guys. Don't get me wrong. I like both guys. But Austin, he's the type of guy that you can't really, at least me, I can't really depend on the guy. You know what I mean? He's good. He's a good mixed martial arts fighter. Don't get me wrong. But I think Mikel Maduros, he has better striking. He just does. The guy has better striking. I feel like I think Maduros is gonna go in there and just outstrike Austin. You know what I mean? I don't see a way for Austin to win this fight. So for that, I have to pick Mikel Maduros. All right, moving on from that, guys. We are in the featherweights. All right. We got Jamal Emmers versus Gabriel Miranda. Gabriel, what can I say? You know what I mean? I literally, a lot of these guys now, the UFC have so many fighters now that it's hard to keep up with them, right? So I did have to go back and look up some information on Gabriel. I do like his style. I do like his mustache, very strong mustache. But I just think Jamal Emmers, I just think he has a better overall game, okay? I think he's going to make this a striking fight, most likely. I think he's going to go out there and put, fisticuffs. And Gabriel, look, I like Gabriel, but I think Jamal Emmers is going to make him quit. I think he's going to go in there and he's going to give him a really good look, but I think Gabriel is not going to be able to withstand that, and I think he folds. So for that, I got to pick Jamal Emmers to win that fight. All right, we got Rafa Garcia. This is a lightweight bout. Rafa Garcia versus Vince Pichel. Wait a minute. This guy has been around forever, right? Yeah, he's 42 years old, this guy. Oh my gosh. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. Okay? Vince is on a 2-fight losing streak, guys. 2-fight losing streak, and he's 42 years old. Okay? All due respect, you gotta, as a human being, you have to know when to quit. And that goes for everything, you know what I mean? You have to know when to quit. Some of the most successful people, okay, learned how to quit because they know for a fact, you know what, I've been at it for a long time, it's time to move on. And then when they do move on, they eventually find success, okay? But for Vince, I guess he hasn't figured that out yet because he's on a 2-fight losing streak, okay? He's 42 years old, turning 43 very soon, okay? And we got Rafa Garcia's over there. You know, just a Mexican, just a Mexican monster. Basically, the guy is gonna walk into the octagon with his head just right there, waiting for Vince to hit it, because he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's gonna roll through Vince's punches, and he's gonna put fisticuffs, put his fist on Vince's chin, and eventually Rafa Garcia is gonna knock out Vince. That's the way I see this, guys. Okay, that is the way I see that fight going. Hello, I am DB. What's your name? My name is OE. You could call me OE. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, okay? You might as well do it. And guys, going back to my UFC fight predictions, look, Vince is 42. He is way past his prime. And we're not talking about Yoel Romero here, okay? That is just the truth. We're not talking about Yoel Romero, okay? So for that, man, I got to go to Rafa Garcia. I think Rafa Garcia has a better overall game. I think he's... How old is Rafa Garcia? I want to say he's younger. Yeah, he's 30 years old, man. He's 30 years old. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Garcia's coming off of a loss as well. He lost to Dawson. But before that, he beat Clay Guida. And before that, he had another win as well. Look. I just think Rafa Garcia is just a tougher opponent. I think he's a tougher opponent. I like Vince, don't get me wrong, but he's past his prime, man. You know, a 12-year difference. I mean, it's going to be a significant amount of just brutality in this fight. And I think Rafa Garcia is going to go in there and chin him. All right, so for that, I got to pick Rafa Garcia's, guys. All right, moving on to the women's strawweight bout, okay? Women's strawweight bout, guys. We got Lupi Godinez versus Julia Palastri. Okay, I actually seen Lupi in her recent interview. She on her, I think it was the the UFC press conference when they the media asked questions and whatnot, and I got a chance to see Lupi, up close. Lupi looks fit, man. Lupi Godinez, it looks like she's going to go in there and do some work for Julia. She's plans to show her some shit, okay? Lupi Godinez, in that interview, man, she just looked fit. She looked focused. I could tell in her eyes. Everything is about the eyes, man. I could tell in her eyes that she's motivated. This girl is motivated. And look, Julia Palastri, I haven't really, I haven't really followed Julia Palastri at all, to be honest with you. But from what I could see, she won her last fight, lost her previous fight before that one. And when it comes to Godinez, I mean, she lost to, Mackenzie Dern. Look, Mackenzie Dern's sexy. Oh, my gosh. She's the reason why I watched the women's division. She got some tough losses. She has some tough losses. She really does. She has some tough losses, but she lost against people who are really, really good. You know what I mean? Like, some tough fights there. You know what I mean? And Julia, I don't think she's fought the level of opponents that Lupi Godinez has fought. So for that reason, man, I'm gonna have to pick Lupi Godinez to win this fight. I think she's gonna go in there, and I think she goes in there and wins by unanimous decision. I think Lupi Godinez is gonna pull this off. I think she just has more experience with better opponents. All right, so for that reason, I got to go with Lupi Godinez. All right, moving on to the featherweight division, okay? We got Christian Rodriguez versus Melquez Costa. Melquezo Costa. I have watched Costa fight. I have watched Christian Rodriguez fight. If I'm not mistaken, Christian Rodriguez just re-up. Got a new contract with the UFC. I just don't see... Costas, he doesn't have Like, in my opinion, he doesn't have an overall game. You know what I mean? He doesn't have an overall game. It's not like he's significantly good in one area. He's not. He's just I don't want to say a typical mixed martial artist, but he's a mixed martial artist that the UFC throws him in there, and if he wins, good. If he loses, hey, you know what I mean. And I just think the UFC is feeding Costa to Christian Rodriguez because Christian Rodriguez just got re-up for a new contract, and he plans to continue winning. Exciting fighter. So for that reason, man, I gotta go with Christian Rodriguez. I think Christian Rodriguez goes in there and finishes Costa. I think he finishes him in the I say first or second round. To be honest with you. But that's my prediction. Christian Rodriguez. All right, moving on. What the hell is wrong with this damn computer? We got Jose Daniel Medina. All right, Jose Daniel Medina versus Ataba Couture. All right, Ataba Couture. Try to say that 12 times. You know what I mean? Look, I like Jose. I like the way he fights. He goes in there. It's always, he always tries to look for the knockout. You know what I mean? The guy always tries to look for the knockout. But for that reason, I got to pick Atiba. I think I got to pick Atiba. I think Atiba goes in there and chins him. Just specifically for that reason. Jose is kind of reckless, and Atiba, he's going to look for that chin, and I think he's going to chin him, man. I think Atiba Couture is going to win this fight, and I think he's going to win this fight most likely in, I don't know, but I say he wins this fight. All right, moving on. I like this bout. We're going to the flyweight division. I like this bout a lot. The UFC did a great job putting fights together for this card. Much appreciated from the UFC, you know what I mean? Because there's been a lot of trashy-ass UFC, UFC fight nights. Don't get me wrong. And to be honest with you, a lot of the UFC fight nights have been trash on paper, but then on fight night, those fights actually perform very, very well. But this is one of these fights in Edgar Chairez versus CJ, where Edgar is that type of dude that he's gritty, man. I've seen him fight, man. Edgar loves standing in the pocket, and he will dare you to exchange with him. Literally, he will dare you to exchange with him. He has great combinations. All right, he hits hard. I love the way he doesn't even care about his opponent and what his opponent is doing. He literally he has his own. It almost looks like he's in his own little world, and he's like, I know my game plan is gonna work, and I'm gonna be able to beat this guy. CJ is a different. Like, I remember when he just came into the flyweight division, very exciting fights. He's been up and down. CJ has been up and down with his win and losses. He's been in terrific fights. Like, a lot of his fights are very, very entertaining, and he's not afraid to stand and bang. He really isn't. He's not afraid to stand and bang. He'll stand in there with you, and he'll try to finish you as well. But for that reason, I think Edgar is gonna go in there and he's gonna finish CJ. I think Edgar has he has potential of finishing CJ very early on, just because CJ, he has a type of attitude where if you hit him hard, he's gonna try to hit you harder. And for that reason, I think Edgar, he just has the better punching combination and harder punches as well. How you doing, man? How you doing? Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. All right, it takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, okay? All right, we're done with that, but I'm going to go with Edgar to beat CJ. All right, we're going to go to the main card now, okay? We got Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. Yo, I like your activity. What? Activity, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate that, man. If you like something, that's what's up. If you don't like something, that's what's up too. You know what I mean? But we got Ronaldo versus Kevin. I think, look, Ronaldo is another one of those guys that goes in there. He always tries to make it entertaining. All right, the guy always tries to make it entertaining. He's one of those, Mexican fighters that is gonna put his chin down and he's gonna freaking try to hit you as hard as he can, hit you with combinations, and he's gonna make the fight very, very ugly. You know what I mean? He's that type of dude. Kevin is one of those dudes as well where he's just he's a little odd. You know what I mean? He's a little odd. You know what I mean? He's coming off of 2 losses. And one of those losses are against Van. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Van, but Van, he's just been on a phenomenal run. Another one of those guys that goes in there, and he's a machine for significant strikes. Honestly, Van is like the little version of Max Holloway, basically in the flyweight division. And Van went out there and it was an okay fight. You know what I mean? It was a okay fight. But then uh, the fight after, man, Kevin got knocked out. You know what I mean? Kevin went to bed. You know, and that was his last fight, man. Ronaldo, go. Yeah, I think Ronaldo Rodriguez takes this one, guys. I think Ronaldo Rodriguez takes this fight just for the simple reason that he's going to be there. He's going to be there all 3 rounds. He's going to make the fight ugly. Kevin is going to try to stay in there, try to bring Ronaldo Rodriguez to a unanimous decision. But I think Ronaldo Rodriguez is going to look for the finish. And that's the difference in mentality. And that's the reason why I'm picking Ronaldo Rodriguez to win this fight, guys. Moving on to the bantamweight division, okay? We got David Martinez. All right? David Martinez versus Simon Oliveira. All right? We got Simon Oliveira. Who did I pick? Man, this is a tough one right here, man. This is really, really a tough one right here. I don't know much of either of these guys. I did go back and watch their fights, their most recent fights. When it comes to Simon Oliveira, he's still young. He's coming off of 2 losses. He has a lot to learn. I think David Martinez goes in there and just... I think David Martinez goes in there and beats Simon Oliveira, man. I honestly think that David Martinez is going to go in there and just finish him. And most likely Simon Oliveira is going to be on his way out of the UFC, to be honest with you. But I'm picking David Martinez to win that one, guys. Moving on. All right, we got the bantamweight division. Okay, another bantamweight bout. Everybody knows the guy, the Chiwiwi. Guy's fucking chin is like way out here. But no disrespect for the guy. Raul Rosas Jr. Okay, everybody knows that guy. One of the youngest fighters in the UFC right now. Versus Vince Morales. Guys, I like Vince Morales, I really do, but Raul Rosas Jr. It's hard to bet against him. You know what I mean? I mean, when he went against Ricky, he ended up beating Ricky. I was impressed. I was impressed because Ricky is one of those guys that he stands and bangs. He's good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's great at scrambles. And Raul Rosas Jr. stood in there with him. Rosas Jr. had some bad moments where Ricky, ended up taking his back, couldn't finish the submission, which showed grit in Rosas Jr. And for that reason, guys, I got to pick Raul Rosas Jr. to win this fight. Vince Morales, bless him, but feeding him to another monster like Raul Rosas Jr., and I think Raul Rosas Jr. goes in there and finishes him. All right, moving on. Now, this one was a tough one for me, all right? We're going to the middleweight division. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do that, okay? But this one was hard for me, man. This one was hard for me. A lot of people are making fun of Kevin Gastelum versus Joe Pfeiffer. A lot of people are making fun of Kevin Gastelum, because he seems to be out of, I don't want to say out of shape, you know what I mean? But I don't think he's out of shape, man. I really don't think he's out of shape at all. A lot of people are making fun of Kelvin, talking about that, you know, he got a refrigerator type of body. Uh, guys, let's relax now. You know what I mean? The let's relax. All right, Kelvin. How old is Kelvin? I want to say he's still young, man. I want to say he's still young. Yeah, he's 33 years old, man. He's 33 years old. He's coming off of a win against, Rodriguez. Um, he got submitted by Sean Brady. He did a unanimous decision against Curtis. I just, when it comes to this one right here, man, this one is tough for me, man, because both guys, both guys have been in the game for a while, you know, and I like Joe Pfeiffer. He's a big guy. He's much bigger than Calvin. I can tell you that much. He's gonna have the harder punches for sure. He's gonna be a little bit stronger than Calvin. But I just think I believe in Kelvin, and not only that, but I like Kelvin. I'm a fan of Kelvin, so I can't pick against the guy. You know what I mean? So when it comes to this UFC fight predictions, I don't know if you guys want to listen to me with this prediction, just because I'm a Kelvin fan. I'm not predicting this from, just a spectator type of view. I'm a fan of Kelvin, and it's hard for me to pick against him. I've been watching Kelvin Gastelum since he was on the UFC Ultimate Fighter. I love the way he held himself. He held himself down in the Ultimate Fighter. He was there. Not a lot of people even thought that he was going to get far in the Ultimate Fighter, and then all of a sudden he wins the Ultimate Fighter against one of the toughest guys that a lot of people thought was going to be the next Anderson Silva. So I'm gonna give this to Kelvin Gastelum. I think he got a little bit in him, and I think he gives Joe Pfeiffer a tough fight. And I think if Kelvin goes in there and becomes his old self, I think Kelvin got this. All right, guys, we got Manuel Torres versus Drew Doper. All right, this is a co-main event. This was a tough one for me to pick. I like Manuel Torres, I really do. I think he goes in there, and he has great striking. All right, he has great striking. He has an ability to put people away with what he does. But I think Drew Doper, he did get knocked out, recently. He has some miles on him, but I don't think it's over. I don't think it's over for Drew Doper. Like I said, I like Manuel Torres to possibly go in there and KO Drew Doper, but I'm not gonna pick Manuel Torres. I'm picking Drew Doper to take this. I think he has a little bit still in him, just like Kelvin Gastelum. I think Drew Doper brings him to most likely a unanimous decision, and or maybe a split decision, and Drew Doper takes it. I'm going for Drew Doper on that one, guys. All right, we're in the main event of the evening, guys. The main event of the evening, guys. Wow, this is 22 minutes long. I didn't even believe this was going to be that long. But anyways, guys, we got Brandon Moreno versus Steve Erceg. All right. Steve Erceg coming off of losses. Brandon Moreno coming off of just terrific wins. Brandon Moreno has been on the top of his game for years. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think he's declining, but I don't think he's declining at all. I just think he's fighting, well-rounded, experienced opponents. He really is. You know what I mean? I mean, the guy is always in a fight. It doesn't matter who it is. The guy is always in a fight. But he's never afraid to stand in the pocket, in the void, and he's willing. He's willing to fight. And that's why I like Brandon Moreno. Steve Erceg coming off of losses, knockouts. I'm going to have to go for Brandon Moreno with this one. I think he has an ability to finish people really, really fast. And he has a really good game plan as well, always when he goes into the octagon in Brandon Moreno. And for that, I'm going to pick Brandon Moreno to beat Steve Erceg, most likely maybe a submission, to be honest with you. I think Brandon Moreno is going to be able to use his wrestling because he's an all-around fighter, and take Steve Erceg down and beat him and submit him. That's what I'm saying, guys. That's my UFC fight predictions. Okay, that is my UFC fight predictions for this card. All right, guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Like I always say, it takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys, okay? I'm most likely not going to go live for this event, but if I do go live, I'll let you guys know for sure, for sure. But, guys, bless yourselves, stay safe, and this is my UFC fight predictions. This is it. I'm out. Hopefully, I get more W's than L's because my record in 2025 for UFC fight predictions, as we stand, is 53-49, which is over 500, which I'm happy about. But we cannot take more L's, okay? But you guys have a good one. Bless, and I'm out of here. Until